Right then, hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are, whenever you happen to be watching this, a review of a movie. My name is Paul, I'm also called Knickknack. I'm the brains behind Knickknack's Old Peculiar, the world's most boringly repetitive blog. I do the daily teasers, which are hopefully an upside to both the blog and my YouTube channel, Mr. Cuddy2977. If you're watching this on YouTube, please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and ding the notification bell. That way, the next time I release something, you'll get to hear about it first. Those things will, of course, consist of the daily teaser, the quizzes I do, and of various TV reviews of stuff I've enjoyed, and of the occasional movie. Yes, that's right, I try and watch the occasional movie, and if it's one I've enjoyed, I will try and tell you about it. I'm recording this on Saturday the 7th of October, quite late on Saturday the 7th of October, after finishing the written version of this video post on my blog, on Knickknack's Old Peculiar, and I wanted to tell you, through that and this video, about the last film I saw, which was last night. That film? The Last Voyage of the Demeter. Based on a chapter of Bram Stoker's Dracula, The Last Voyage of the Demeter opens with a title page, what they used to call an intertitle, telling us that the eponymous ship has been chartered to carry 50 crates from Romania to England, and then shows us that it arrived at Whitby as a derelict with a corpse on the steering wheel and all hands lost. We go back in time to a month that sees the Demeter loading at the port of Varna in Bulgaria and listening to its captain, Captain Elliot, Liam Cunningham, filling in the ship's log. The Romani car drivers, or Roma I should say, maybe, who bring the crates that the Demeter has been hired to carry, are reluctant to load the things on board and eager to get out of Varna before sunset. Whilst the ship is being loaded, we see the world-weary Captain Elliot at Varna's port offices. He and first mate Mr. Voyage, David Dastmalchian, have to hire new crewmen, file various bits of paperwork, and fish Captain Elliot's 9-year-old grandson Toby, Woody Norman, out of trouble. Trouble that almost turns lethal, as Toby almost gets killed by a crate that's broken 3 of its ropes, only to be rescued by Clemens, Corey Hawkins, who's been looking for a berth on something like the Demeter for quite some time now. Jobs for someone in his shoes are very, very rare, so saving Toby's life means Clemens has a job, a berth, somewhere to sleep, food, and a free ride home. Little does he or his crewmates know exactly what is in the crates in the hold, or how lethal that trip home is going to be. Now, what did I make of The Last Voyage of the Demeter? Was it good, bad, indifferent? Was it lighter and fluffier than the last film I actually saw? Now, if you don't know, and I'll try and throw the link in up here in the end cards, if you didn't know, that last film I saw was 1984's Threads. And strictly speaking, I should maybe call Threads a made-for-TV movie, or a play, or a long-form drama, because back in the mid-80s, when it was made and first aired on TV, it was first aired on TV. It wasn't intended for the cinema. These days, however, I suspect it and other dramas that sort of length like it would be screened in a cinema, than what I believe our Americans call a feature-length drama. They're basically a film aired on TV. However we watched it, Threads is both wonderful and very powerful and deeply distressing, especially its final scenes. Try and look out for my review, but please try and look out for the film itself. It is quite something to catch, although you really have to be in the right frame of mind for it, I think. By comparison, and despite being a supernatural horror film based on one of the classic Gothic horror novels, The Last Voyage of the Demeter is light, fluffy, and practically optimistic with an almost a happy ending. It's also very good. The basic plot of the Demeter's tragic journey from Europe to Britain forms only a very small part of Bram Stoker's Dracula, which is possibly where I have sort of an issue. I am always one for textural authenticity. What's on screen has to have some sort of connection to what's on the page. I don't know, I couldn't tell you for sure if that is the case here. I grant you Captain Elliot is found tied to the ship's wheel towards the end of the movie when the Demeter is washed ashore, just as in the original novel. And at least two characters can be seen as parallel to ones in the book. Clemens is the film equivalent of Van Helsing. He's scientifically curious, he's a man of knowledge, but he's also a man very aware of a threat that he's facing, he and his crewmates are facing. Anna, Aisling Franciosi, I believe it's pronounced, seems loosely based on Mina Harker. Totally enslaved to Dracula after the monsters repeatedly fed on her, but psychically linked to him in a way that means she can follow him and help her crewmates do something about it, or try to. But I couldn't tell you how authentic the film is to Stoker's text. It has been a very long time since I've read it. All I can tell you for sure is that what we see on screen in The Last Voyage of the Demeter is very, very good indeed. It's an almost perfect base under siege story. Granted, we've seen those before, the idea's hardly original, but The Last Voyage of the Demeter is a very well told take on the concept, and one that has some very, very good performances. David Dastmalchian as Mr. Voyage does a very good job. I'm looking forward to seeing him in Dune, based on his performance here. Liam Cunningham as Captain Elliot is absolutely bloody marvellous. The guy plays the role with a hell of a lot of sympathy and sheer authority that I doubt you could equal with any other actor in the post. Corey Hawkins as the passionate Mr. Clements is utterly, utterly breathtaking and has an absolutely impeccable London accent. I should possibly not be surprised there. The Washington-born Hawkins is a graduate of New York's Juilliard School, the US equivalent of RADA, and one of the most prestigious acting schools in the English-speaking world. I suspect his London accent, his utterly flawless London accent, is a result of very good training. It's Juilliard he's been to. A very good voice coach, that's fairly common. A hell of a lot of talent, that's a rarity, and a determination to work hard and do a good job. And you don't find that every day of the week either. It had me convinced. His London accent, okay, it's generic working class London accent, was so convincing, I was genuinely, honestly surprised to find Hawkins is American. It really is quite convincingly good. I can only hope we get to see more of Corey Hawkins. The man quite blatantly and quite obviously has ability. He really does. So, what did I think of The Last Voyage of the Demeter? What did I think of this film? What did I see? What do I know? There is possibly a lot more that I could add, things that are relatively trivial. How on earth, for a start, do you pronounce Demeter? I personally have always pronounced the name as Demeter, with the stress somewhat on the first syllable, but the cast say it as Demeter, with the stress on the second syllable. Personally, I am not going to worry about it. I really am not. To me, it's a trivial little thing that is truly trivial. It's truly a little thing, but it's interesting to see the ways it can be done. Will there be a sequel? I don't know. I don't think the original Dracula novel allows for it. It just shows us Dracula's escape and then goes back to the main storyline, while the crew basically dies. But the film itself, or ends I should say, the film itself ends in a way that leaves the possibility open for a sequel, and that Clemens will be the one to fight and defeat the villain. We'd have to see what happens there. There may be better Base Under Siege films, but to be honest, there are very few of them that spring to my mind right at this moment. Given that, and given the quality of the performances and the general quality of the film itself, given that, watching The Last Voyage of the Demeter means you're not going to be wasting your money. Go see it, folks. Right, with all of that lot said, done, dusted, and out of the way, thank you for watching this video review. I hope you've enjoyed it. I also hope you'd like to subscribe and ding the notification bell. That way you'll get to see a hell of a lot of quizzes floating past, and you'll occasionally see more film and TV reviews of things I like. You are welcome to watch those as well. You're welcome to subscribe. You're welcome to hit the share. And if you see the tip jar going past and want to put a few pennies in the hat, please feel free to do that as well. You don't have to though, however appreciated it might be. I will see you the next time I see you. Take care, have fun, and in the immortal words of Patrick McGowan, be seeing you.